My name is Jeff Regan. I'm the Member of Parliament for Halifax West and Speaker of the House of Commons. And I am really pleased to be here and very happy to see this exhibit about the Canadian Jewish experience, which I saw in Ottawa at the National Museum of History a few months ago on the day of the National Holocaust Memorial. Right after the ceremony, there was a reception, and I was looking around and saw this and started looking at it. Started talking to Tova, what's her last name, who was really key in organizing this? Do you recall her last name? Darn, the woman who basically made this happen, this display, right? And I said, this should be in Halifax. This needs to come to Halifax. And I have to tell you that I was thinking, of course, Pier 21 is an obvious place for it, but I think this library, I mean, I hope Ruth Goldblum will forgive me for saying this, because I love Pier 21, but this library is an ideal place because it's so, you know, it's so full of people, and people come here to learn about various things, and this is something that's important to learn about. To learn about how Jews who came to Canada, like those who went to so many places around the world, faced adversity and overcame it to become drivers of prosperity and social progress. And that, you know, it parallels with Canada's history. We are a country of people, as we celebrate 150 years since Confederation, who have come from all over the world, who have brought many, many things to this country. But when you think about the contributions of Jews who've been here for nearly 250 years, not only in industry and in politics, in architecture, in the professions, in the arts, and in so many other fields, the contribution is phenomenal. It's a magnificent contribution. And to think that if we go back before the Second World War, the Jews were turned away, or at the time of the Second World War, in fact, it's embarrassing. But I have to say that I'm very proud, and I should have known this sooner. I'll have to ask my dad about if he must know the history of this, but I didn't know about the camp in my native town of Windsor, Nova Scotia, where Jewish soldiers were trained and developed a sense of identity, not just as refugees from Europe, for example, but as a Jewish community in Canada. And then one of them was David Ben-Gurion. Incredible, right? That he was actually in Windsor, Nova Scotia, doing his training there in my native town, which I didn't know about. So I'm going to give my dad heck for that. But I'm sure he knows some stories, and my grandfather would have been in Windsor at the time and might very well have been friends with some of the folks involved with the camp. So for me, that's a remarkable story, and I'm so pleased to have learned. Sarah, right? Yes. I'm so pleased to have the chance to learn about it from Sarah, who has done lots of research and who added this panel with Edna on the Atlantic experience of the Jewish community, which I think is so important that it be included in this wonderful story. So I am really thrilled that it's here, having seen it in Ottawa, having felt it was important that it come here. It's an important part of our history, and it's a delight to welcome you to it, and thanks to the Atlantic Jewish Council who made it possible for it to come here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.